Bienvenue and welcome to the official Lost podcast hosted by ABC.com. This week we're coming to you from, well, the same place we always do, but it's been vacuumed if that makes any difference. Anyway, this week we have part 2 of our interview with actor Jorge Garcia, and we have more from executive producers Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse. They'll be talking about the upcoming episode Lockdown, and it's a good one, that airs Wednesday, March 29th from 9 to 10 p.m. on ABC. Also this week, as promised, we have a special feature for you, a chance to vote on the official Damon and Carlton theme song. And no, it's not from Brokeback Mountain or the Olympics. It's from our free library of music. A couple of weeks ago, we spoke with actor Jorge Garcia, who plays Hurley, about how he got into acting. This week we get into the more juicy topics like when will Hurley finally get some lovin'?
We shot more in that episode when you kind of first see them doing laundry. Hurley asked Libby on a date, or to go on a walk, which is what the island equivalent of a date is, you know, instead of, we can't really do dinner in a movie. And they also showed us on that walk for a brief moment. So, yeah, I hope. Looks like there might be more to come, so we'll see.
Will this be the first time you've done a potential love scene on any of your roles on camera?
Well, I did something that was kind of an intimate scene, but this is definitely the most like kind of romantic and like it's very has a very high school sweetheart kind of love quality to it, which is kind of cute.
Of course, it's not all walks and cuteness on the island. In fact, some of the most challenging moments for Hurley have also, strangely enough, been the most challenging moments for Jorge Garcia.
Crossing that bridge in my episode, that was pretty scary and precarious. That stuff's probably the hardest thing. Kind of like trying to put my fears aside and cross a rickety, that bridge was pretty scary because it had one rope on one side and the other side didn't have a rope. So as you start about halfway through, the bridge starts tilting towards the open side. And, I'm a big guy, so it tilted more for me than it did for Dominic, I'll tell you that much. And that was scary because I knew that my whole feet were somehow trying to grip onto the bridge through my shoes, because as soon as I got off the bridge, my feet were killing me because finally those muscles relaxed for a minute.
Never mentioned anything about a bridge.
I never saw this before.
There's no way she could have built this all by herself.
No, but her team could have.
Or Ethan's team. Hurley, what are you doing?
Relax, I'm just gonna check it out. You guys should stay here.
Hurley, get back here.
Dudes, chill.
There was like a safety strap that kind of went around my waist that if I were to fall, I'd be hanging there for a little bit. And then they had like this thing that would like a cherry picker that we could then get onto, and it would bring us back to safety.
Charlie! Move! Charlie!
Dude, you okay?
I'm okay. Woo! All right, you two stay put right there. We're gonna find a way around, and we'll meet you there.
Nah, screw that. You guys stay. There's a path right here. Charlie and
Hurley,
me
will you
can...
shut up and listen to Jack? He said stay put. You're acting like a bloody lunatic.
But I also have this great kind of almost... I enjoy pushing my fears. Like, I'm afraid of spiders, too. But if I get if I see a spider web, I'll sometimes get a stick because it'll wiggle on one end of it if it's long enough, and I just kind of touch the web and make the spider, start trying to find the bug that he thinks is doing it. Then I run away screaming like a girl. But it's kind of still fun to put yourself in those situations. It's like horror movies and roller coasters. It's not so much you pay for the sensation, but you pay for the ability to survive it. The other thing that was really hard was in the finale was that was the longest escalator I'd ever seen, and I had to run up the escalator with luggage over and over and over again. And they basically used the last 5 minutes at the top of the escalator just from where the camera was. it was like I was like, but I had to run up the entire thing and then go back down and do it again and again and again. You're also dodging people on your way up, and it just felt like it was getting longer and longer, because that was an escalator that skipped the floor. It went up 2 floors as opposed to just one.
Did the people change position every time, or were you jostling the same people in the same position?
Well, actually, I think they had to do more of avoiding me than I had to do avoiding them, because I had to book, and so I just kept saying excuse me and just going as fast as I can.
They were all stunt actors, though, right?
No, they were just background. I don't think they got any extra stunt stuff, but they might have been bounced a little bit, but I don't think I hurt them too bad.
Just a note, if Lost truly were purgatory, Jorge would still be on that staircase, and his character would be named Sisyphus. Look that one up. In the meantime, though, it's once again time for Damon and Carlton.
Hello, and welcome to another podcast with Carlton Cuse and
Damon Lindelof. Now, I like that. That's kind of like it's like now we've got it kind of like welcome to another
welcome to another podcast featuring Carlton Cuse and Damon Lindelof for Lost.
It's like
Sunday.
It's monster truck action. I like it. It's exciting. You okay there? You need some water?
I do.
Wow.
That pretty much took me down. I don't know how those guys do that. Sunday. And that's
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday at 9:00. Lost.
An all new Lost.
All right. Well, speaking of us indulging ourselves and acting like complete dorks, we've been joking about this for quite some time now, but I think it's time to actually pick some theme music.
Let's actually back up. I mean, Chris, our fantastic producer here, has actually come up with some selections for us, and we're going. Oh my God! There goes the phone again.
That is not the theme music.
That's somebody calling in to suggest some theme music. But anyway, so Chris is here with us, and he's got some theme music for us, and we're actually we thought that we would actually play some for you guys, and then you can vote on the internet at abc.com and help us select what should be our podcast theme song.
This is of crucial importance to us. We need your help. I know that you are busy selecting our next American Idol, and quite honestly, Carlton is pulling for Chris Daughtry.
Yes.
And
go Chris.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of McPhee, whose name escapes me. But
right.
But you need to vote for our theme song, because that's really important.
Now, the other thing that you need to know, and this is really the God's honest truth, we have not listened. We have not pre-screened any of these. We haven't listened to them. We're actually going to
hearing them for the first time
right along with you here.
So not unlike Simon Cowell, you can allow our commentary to sway you, but ultimately your vote counts, America.
Wow, this is like Lost crossed with American Idol. This could be big.
I think it has the potential of being huge.
We could have like 3 more podcast listeners by doing this.
I think there's a way to do that.
Okay.
So
Chris?
let's let the games begin. Here is number 1.
This is number 1. Selection number 1.
It's kind of a Muzak feel.
Well, if we were doing the podcast in an elevator, it might be good.
All right, I'm going to vote no on that one personally.
Supermarket. I don't know. It kind of makes me feel like shopping. It
makes
me like picking up a couple of porterhouse
makes
and
me
a
feel
can
like
of Campbell's soup.
Makes me feel like skipping.
Well, most things do.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All
Let's not
Chris,
go there again.
Chris, number 2.
I like this. This is kind of like, it's a little bluesy, and it's sort of got a Chappelle Show thing going on.
Yeah,
it has nothing whatsoever to do with our show or you or I. It actually.
It has a lot to do with me as an individual. Just don't. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I won't go there. Why are you crying? All right. Well, obviously, don't vote for number 2 unless you want Carlton to cry through every podcast.
Okay, Chris, number 3. Cue the 3.
I like it, because when I think Lost, I think banjo.
This is a special Sawyer podcast.
Yeah, you should do your Sunday thing under that.
Sunday.
That's good. All right.
Only at the Austin County Fair.
All right, moving on. That was number 4.
Number 3. This is 4.
This is 4. Okay, now we're talking. All right, this is it.
Cool.
This is the one.
This is pretty happy.
This is like, I have a car and it talks
And a gun,
and we
and
solve
can we-
and we solve crimes and when on the full moon we turn into werewolves.
We need some action stuff going on, man. We need to be like, we need to have some
Yeah.
guns, and we need to be shoot. Oh,
I want to kick
fantastic.
somebody in the face right now. And was that 4?
Four kind of
All right,
rocks.
go
That's
on.
cool.
Number
That's
5.
cool. Like, man, that's.
Hate it. Moving on.
No, wait. Just
Dude,
wait a
we've
minute.
got number 4, man. This sucks.
Because this is kind of like, Steely Dan, like on a Quaalude.
Oh man.
Okay,
Oh brother.
No, not that one. Number 6. This is number 6.
This is kind of a little trancy, a little tripped out.
This is cool, man. Wow.
We could
This
be
is
like, you know what? This would be good
Welcome
for
to Lost. This would be like theorizing on Lost.
We could
just
be like,
come in, just call in with your theories, and we'll
Yeah.
listen to them.
at this part, it's like this would be
It's
the
all
part.
a dream, man.
You could be like, all right, wait.
Dharma implanted it all in their brains.
Keep it
man.
playing. It's like, all right, let's take it down, ladies and gentlemen, and talk a little bit about Desmond. All right,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's
like, if we
cool.
want
That's
to,
kinda
that's
like-
transition music, but
that's-
not good theme music. That was 6.
It's transcendental.
All right.
Yeah, that's kind
All right, not bad.
Take me
It's-
down to Funky
Yeah,
Island.
it's not number 4, but
This isn't bad.
wow.
And welcome to Lost.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see this right now, but Carlton has just taken out a piece of cardboard and is doing the worm on the ground. Wow, that is astonishing.
You see that spin? You know how long
Holy-
it took me to learn that spin?
I can't believe you just spun on your head. All right,
That's great.
that was number 7. Number
That was
7.
number
All
7.
right,
We got
moving
10
on.
of these.
This is
Okay.
great. Stay tuned for your questions.
Yeah.
Now this is kind of like a big bad voodoo daddy kind of thing,
Yeah.
which is good because of all the voodoo that's coming on this show.
Exactly. It's good. We got a whole season of voodoo coming up. Season 5, all voodoo.
All right, we get it.
Okay.
That sets us up for season 7, zombies.
Yeah.
All right, this is kind of a little more
Cool.
metal.
Slam it, baby. It's lost.
Yeah!
Damn straight, it's lost. Yeah, we dig it, man. Hurley. Hurley.
Hurley's a good name for a
Hurley.
for a metal band. Ladies and gentlemen, Hurley. All right.
That's cool.
That's-
I kind of like that one.
Oh my God. Wow. Carlton, where did you get those maracas? Put those away
Damon?
before someone gets
Okay,
hurt.
I'm going to talk to you about that in just a minute. Well, it's a very, very special Lost. That's for the
I like it. It's got a little bit of
Romanian. It's very
Yes.
good for the French woman who's actually Yugoslavian.
It makes me either
Where
want.
will you hide them?
Where will you hide them? It makes me either want to juggle or do magic. This music.
Well,
Why not do both?
You're juggling. Wow. Look at that. You're
All right,
juggling.
so
Okay,
there we go.
There we are. There's
Again-
your 10 choices.
Again, America, the vote is yours, but no matter what you vote for, it's going to be number 4. No, wait,
it's
no,
not.
seriously,
No,
this is a
it's not.
democracy.
It's a democracy to a point.
It's a
If you
democracy.
if you make us do number 10,
Yeah.
you're not going to
Seriously,
be happy.
it is an absolute democracy. Your vote counts unless you vote for 1, 2, 3, 5,
Stop.
6, 7,
No,
8,
no,
9,
the
or
rock
10.
one. The rock one was cool, man. As was the sort of cosmic one. There's some choices there.
All right.
Thank you, Chris.
I like the one where we have guns and turn into werewolves.
That was cool. That's excellent. By the way, just as a little aside here, since last week we've been in talks with the various merchandising people, and actually for this podcast, Damon is actually wearing a tuxedo from the now fledgling Mr. Echo collection.
Yes.
It's a very nice understated black subtle lapels with a kind of a cream colored shirt, and that's a very nice sort of silver tie.
Right, and oddly enough, no pants, which is sort of what makes it...
Well, the pants are still in the works. That's the and of course it is Disney where Donald Duck has no pants.
You-
So
you know me, any
you're totally
excuse
good.
not to put on pants.
Exactly. You can be Donald Duck in it all day here.
I'm proud of Donald Duckett, always.
Okay, so today we're going to talk very briefly about.
Yeah, now that we've spent so much time on... Now that you've actually fast-forwarded through the theme
Are we to
bits.
assume? Okay, let me just cut to the chase. Are we supposed to assume that Sun is pregnant by Jin, Damon?
Well, that's an excellent question, Carlton, because, she looked him right in the eye after being sort of implored by Jack to tell the whole truth, and, well, I'll be darned if the title of the episode wasn't the whole truth, that she's never been with another guy. But at the same time, when we saw that last flashback, when she's standing there with that guy, Jay Lee or whatever his name is, I think that's his name.
Jay.
I mean, this is me.
J-A-E.
This is me pretending to be like, not on the show. My takeaway from it was, wow, anything could. I would have told you if the phone hadn't rung. Anything, it's up in the air. I mean, I want to know. I want to see more. So.
Yeah, and there was that also the kind of a funny expression on her face, wasn't there? I mean, it wasn't like
not like funny like somebody pulled her finger, but like funny like
uh-oh.
Yeah, maybe I'm not being completely honest here.
Right. Even though the episode was called The Whole Truth.
Right. But I would look at it this way.
It doesn't mean it was nothing but the truth.
If Jay can't have kids and
Jay? You mean Jen?
Yeah, if Jen can't have kids and she's pregnant, either the island got her pregnant or somebody else did.
Or Jay maybe got her pregnant. Or maybe there's somebody else who we don't even know about till the voodoo season.
I'll stay tuned. It's sort of an Echo goatee issue.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is like, given that the first season of the show took about 90 days, and, same with this, or the first 2 seasons took like 90 days, she's not going to have this baby until like the voodoo season.
That's a great time to have it. I mean, that'll be a really good time to have it.
All right. So next up is Lockdown, which is an episode that Damon and I authored, and we are very excited about this episode. There's a big piece of mythology in this episode, isn't there, Damon?
There are a couple huge pieces of mythology coming up in this episode. For all of you out there who have sort of been sitting and waiting for kind of more island mystery, it's coming in a big way, and we're closing some doors, but opening some others. And I think what's sort of really engaging, just coming into this episode is, Saeed and Charlie and Ana Lucia are all off in the. When we saw them at the end of last week, it was pouring rain, and they had gotten to the spot on the map where Henry's balloon was supposed to be, and there's no balloon. So I'm kind of like wondering what's going to happen when they come back and basically, say
report in.
Yeah, and report in. I mean, what's going to go on there? That should be because. I have to be honest with you. After 5 episodes of wondering whether this guy is or is not an other, I kind of want to know already. So,
well, I think that's an answer that's going to be forthcoming soon.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it actually is going to be really good. And this season, yeah.
So Lockdown, is that some sort of clever pun? I mean, is it going to be a lock episode or what?
In fact, it is a lock episode, Damon.
Does he fall down in the episode?
He does fall down and can't get up.
So that's essentially what it is.
It's like, he's got one of those...
what would be cool, though, is if there was actually also some kind of lockdown.
He tries calling 911, but that's kind of difficult.
My guess is that ABC has already promoted the hell out of the fact that there is, in fact, a lockdown.
Yeah, I'm sure that by the time we shouldn't be coy. He's trapped under a blast door in the hatch.
A blast door?
Well, yes.
What's getting blasted?
I don't know.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, it should be really cool. So anyway, we're I think this is an episode which really does it kind of kicks off and with some mythological reveals, a lot of stuff that we're going to be dealing with through the finale of this year, and I think it's sort of almost kind of would be fair to say it sort of sets in motion perhaps the last act of the season.
Yeah, the denouement, if you will, if I knew what that word meant.
I think if you did, you wouldn't have used it there.
I certainly would not have. You could say that again.
All right. Do we have time for a few questions?
I sure hope so.
Okay.
Play the
question music. Or that rock theme.
Yeah, exactly.
More questions. Okay.
May I start, Carlton?
Sure.
This question is from Johnny Cash, AK, regarding character resets. Thank you, Johnny. Love your work. Not to be a downer here, and this is a serious... Whenever somebody starts their question that way, it's not going to end good.
Well, that's okay, because, you're in a tuxedo.
Right.
I'm optimistic.
Not to be a downer here, and this is a serious question, whether it upsets people or not, but how exactly is resetting certain characters back to how they were at the beginning of the show, thus negating a season and a half of character development, a good thing? After listening to this week's podcast, it sounds like both of you were really excited about this, but to put it frankly, I'm lost. It's clever, right? He's lost, because that's the name of the show. I mean, I never heard that one before.
I would just say watch any television show that goes for a long time and ask yourself, do characters repeat their behavior over and over again? In fact, I would say that one of the things that's interesting about our show is that, and I think is interesting for us to explore as writers on the show, is the fact that we all as people and our characters all struggle with certain issues that they try to transcend. And I think we all have things in our lives that we struggle with that become sort of lifelong issues, as do our characters. And I think that Sawyer is someone who struggles with his own sense of self-loathing. Charlie is struggling with drug addiction. Saeed is struggling with his with the duality of himself as being a nice guy, but also having the potential to inflict, torture on other people. And I think that these are issues that are not easily resolved. I don't think, in the same way that the issues that we all have as individuals are not easily resolved. And I think that for us, these characters, it would be the simple cop-out would be for the characters to actually resolve these issues in one simple, sweet story. But that's not real life. And I think that our characters are on this island, perhaps in some measure, to be tested and over and over again on the axis of their issues, their individual issues. So that the stories that arise for these characters are ones that challenge them to transcend their conditions, or we feel the sympathy of seeing them sort of fall victim to their conditions and struggle with the realities of that. And that's what we mean by resetting the characters.
More importantly, I think in the second season, we explored all those character deficits and those struggles in season 1 in a vacuum. They didn't know each other yet. Now it's much different to see Sawyer go through the same thing, but now he's in relationships with people. That everybody knows each other a lot better, and we feel that makes it fresh. And I think this is the same thing in movies. I mean, do you want to go see Spider-Man 3 and have, like, him in the beginning of Spider-Man say, you know what, I'm much more comfortable with this whole great power and great responsibility thing, and I'm perfectly fine with the fact that, I like this girl and I've got 2 identities. I mean, you have to kind of go back to square one all the time. John McClane is never going to get over wanting to fight terrorists.
Right.
If he did, that would be it would be like, die not so hard. Die a little softly, please. It's too loud.
Yes. Thank you. Let me ask you a question. Hello, producers, by Kate is Mine. My friend says there will be repeats of Lost, best show ever, for 3 whole weeks. I don't like that, but I still love Lost. My mom says I'm an addict. I am. I have posters of Evangeline Lilly all over my room. Tell her I say hi and tell Dominic to back off. She's mine even though I'm way too young to marry.
All right. First off, Carlton, we've been over this. You do not have to present your own feelings as a bogus email. I know that you have posters of Evangeline all over. If you want to say hi, you can call her and tell her yourself. And if you have an issue with hers and Dominic's relationship, I suggest you get on the phone and deal with it. And by the way, you are not too young to be married. That's really all I could say. There wasn't really even a question there, which exposes you even further.
Busted.
That's all I can say. It's busted. He's still sweating from his breakdancing routine. All right. I think we probably have time for one more question each.
Okay.
This is regarding the HanselFoundation.org by Zeke's brother. So what is the deal with the website? It's been down forever. Is there a purpose, or am I missing a secret way to get in?
No, that's actually very observant. It's sort of like a ride at Disneyland being remodeled. The Hanso Foundation website is down for remodeling, and when it comes back up, it is going to be awesome. In fact,
spectacular.
In fact, we are actually we're going to kind of let you guys in on a secret. We are involved in a project which is going to involve the internet. That's going to start in May.
In May, but you're going to have to watch the show. And not just the show, but what happens in between the show. Between
the acts of the show.
So, sort of fairly carefully in order to sort of begin the path on this, what we're calling an experience.
Yeah, and this internet experience will actually be launched during one of the shows in May, and it will be a pathway that will lead to a lot of information about the show that we're not going to get to on the show, but it's not just a sort of ancillary,
yeah, it's
unrelated,
not behind-the-scenes stuff either. It's like...
It's real mythology.
It's kind of
it's real
cool storytelling.
Yeah.
And,
which hopefully is going to, in some degree, satisfy the desire for new material on Lost over the summer. I mean, during that period of time when the show is down before we start the next season, we are actually going to be telling some Lost stories.
And since you're, listening to this podcast and taking the time to sit through all our insanity and stupid jokes, we're letting you know that we're doing this. But once it starts, we're going to completely deny having any involvement with it whatsoever. So you can actually come to us and go, hey, I'm playing this podcast back for you where you guys say you're responsible. And we'll go, what are you?
We're not talking about
we'll go,
that.
What are you talking about? Like, we don't, that's not
Well,
me.
we may not deny it. We may just...
We'll just be kind of cheeky.
We'll just say we can't comment.
Yeah, we can't comment.
God,
I know that I just asked one, Carlton, but I have another question that I just have to ask you. From Quince the Carpenter. Lost fans have posted a very large range of theories about the show on the internet. I assume the show itself has some internal guidelines for what belongs in this imaginary world and what is too far out there. But given there is so much mystery, how will we the fans know when Lost has, lost it? For example, I would suggest we will know Lost has jumped the shark when Kate stars in a love scene with the black smoke monster, resulting in her becoming pregnant with her own clone. What is your vision for how Lost could jump the shark?
All right. First of all, get the writers and tell them to scrap that. Now that the finale has been busted out by Quince the Carpenter, we're going to have to bag on the smoke monster love scene with Kate thing.
It's different, though, Carlton. I mean, she does not get impregnated with her own clone. She gets impregnated with a clone.
That's true.
But I think our idea is entirely different.
Look, I mean, somewhere after the zombie year 7, there's a possibility that the show could jump the shark, but really, shy of that, it's hard to really see what would constitute a shark jumping.
We talk about this all the time, and the reality is that Lost kind of jumps the shark every week. I mean, we talked about when we first started talking about what was in the hatch, and essentially if somebody, over the last summer, if everyone was asking us, what's in the hatch, what's in the hatch, if we had turned to them and said, well, there's a guy in the hatch, and that guy actually sort of bumped into Jack back in one of Jack's flashbacks, but he's been in the hatch for the last 4 years, and he's been told that he has to push this button every 108 minutes or the world will end, you would have looked at us like we were insane and that we were about to jump the shark. But that's what we did, and, you know, the show has to take risks and has to come very close to jumping the shark, or I think it fails miserably. The minute that we stop advancing the story that we know we want to tell, I think the real way that we jump the shark is when the show becomes boring and stagnant and redundant and repetitive.
And you know, we you know, for
like
us,
this podcast.
for us,
I'm putting myself to sleep. Wake me up when you're done talking.
Okay. Just, you know, maybe
it's myself. I've never bored myself before.
I think your necktie is too tight.
Yeah.
I don't know what made you decide long tie versus bow tie.
When you're wearing no pants, it's all in the accessories. All right.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I think you pretty much summed it up. We don't, you know, we want to take chances on our storytelling. There.
All right. I'm obviously boring you too. All right.
Okay. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Check out Ricky Gervais's podcast. I hear it's very entertaining.
Bye.
Bye.
Remember, Lost fans, you can hear Damon and Carlton's theme songs on lost.abc.com, where you can vote for your favorite and also submit your own fan questions. Lockdown airs Wednesday, March 29th from 9 to 10 p.m. only on ABC.